Bayer Leverkusen won, Arsenal won, and that was probably one of the more pathetic performances I have seen in a long, long time. Absolutely uninterested in going forward. And I think this tells us one thing, one very thing. If nothing else, take this from today. Bukayo Saka is not captain material. The second he came off, we actually looked like we wanted to go forward. Think about that for a second. He's meant to be our star boy. He's meant to be the right winger that everyone fears. Yeah, but when he came off, that's when we started looking better. It was a poor performance from him today. And I'm getting a bit concerned about Saka now. I don't think he's played very well this season. I don't think. Sorry, there's a Chelsea match going on here. I don't think Saka has done much of anything this season. But look at these stats, because I think this will tell you a bit. Bayer Leverkusen had 8 shots, we had 7. Both of us have had 3 shots on target. We had 57% possession. We had 510 passes, so they're 438. A pass accuracy of 90%, which to me, I can't lie, that sounds incredibly false to me. 90% pass accuracy cannot be right. We were passing really terribly back there. We committed 10 fouls, they committed 8. We got 3 yellow cards, they got 4. And one of the yellow cards we got shouldn't have even happened. I don't know what the fuck Kai Havertz did wrong, but apparently he got a yellow card for nothing, for standing there. No red cards, we were caught offside once, and surprisingly, we had 3 corners, they had 2. But we have to look now at really where the biggest problem lies for this football team right now, and that is our transition from defence to attack. Because it's just, we're so slow when it comes down to that. Even counter-attack, I will say this, we are the worst counter-attacking team in the Premier League right now. Probably in all of the Champions League as well, or at least what remains in the Champions League. We just don't know how to counter-attack, and that really bothers me. You look at the space that you get, you look at the opportunity to break at them, to go fast, to cause problems, and we're just not taking it. We're slowing down. Our first instinct is to pass sideways or backwards. And we've got to sort this out now. Realistically, we've gotten away with it for quite a lot. Even today, I think we got away with it. And I will also say, that Madueke tackle, the one that won us the penalty, I actually didn't think it was a penalty. If I'm being honest, that to me, and this is coming from an Arsenal fan, that to me looked like a dive. To me, yes, he did make contact with the player and not the ball, but looking at it, Madueke took a good 2 steps before falling over after the contact. And that to me, look, I want to win games. I'll say this, I want to win games. But there's a certain way that I want to win certain games. Something happened there. There's a way I want to win games. I want to win games without resorting to diving or simulations to win penalties. I want to win games where I can look at them and say, yeah, we thoroughly deserve that win. I want to win the games and win the titles, and I want to do it legitimately. But to me, that's what happened in that game. It was unacceptable on every single level. The only ones who I think have any right to hold their head up high is our centre-backs and our goalkeeper. I think our goalkeeper made one mistake all game, and that was when he kicked the ball out, and it looked like he pulled something when he did that. But still, as I say, Fernandez just scored. It's 2-2 now. Jesus Christ, right when I'm talking. But as I said, I don't want to win it this way. I want to win it legitimately. And looking at this game, as I said, centre-backs and goalkeeper are the only ones who could hold their head up high tonight, because I thought everyone else was either bang average or outright piss poor. And we've got to do better going forward. These kind of games, we can't be having these kind of games now. These kind of games, I'm not saying that Bayer Leverkusen is a poor team. Quite the contrary, I think Bayer Leverkusen is a great team. But I'm looking at these teams, and I'm still saying we should be beating them. We should be beating them, or at the very least, bringing the fight to them. I saw no fight. For the first 20 or so minutes of the first half, I saw a bit of fight. And then when Saka came off, I saw all the fight in the world. We did kind of slow it down, and we did kind of go back into the way we were, which was really getting to me. There was just no urgency whatsoever. But I've got to hold everyone here accountable. And looking as well at what was going on. First of all, I will say, Mikel Arteta did make the right decision to take Saka off. And you could see it in Saka's eyes. He had no room to complain. He didn't complain. He had no room to. He had no right to. As for Madueke, when he came on, played more direct football. And that is what we want to see. We wanted to see direct football. When Saka got the ball, he would wait for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds. Suddenly he's doubled up on and he has to go back. And that's not good enough. And even when you didn't want him to take on the defender, when there's like 3 different defenders on him, Saka decides that's when he wants to take defenders on. It doesn't make sense to me, Saka. I'm sorry. Look, I have to ask the very uncomfortable question now with Saka. As for the centre-back pairing themselves, they did quite well. I don't think they really put a foot wrong, to be honest. Didn't have too much involvement overall. And of course, Piero Hincapié, I thought played quite decently, to be fair, against his old club. I thought he played very decently. But I'm struggling to think between Hincapié, Saliba and Gabriel, who my man of the match really would be there. Because there was nothing extraordinary about anyone in that game. There were just those 3 alone, who I can sit down and say were a little bit better than average. But what I will say, as I said, take one thing away from this, is that Bukayo Saka cannot be the captain anymore. Neither Odegaard nor Saka need the captain's armband. Give it to Gabriel or give it to Declan Rice. But don't give it to those 2. They just haven't earned it. But anyways, getting into the player ratings now, and starting off in goal, David Raya. I thought David Raya had one mistake, as I said, one mistake that entire game. And then after that, I thought it was a pretty good performance from him. David Raya, I'm going to give a 7. Where should I start from there next? Piero Hincapié, I thought he had a decent performance as well. He looks a little bit more eager to go forward to me. At least more eager than Jurrien Timber. When he got in those positions, I thought he looked a little bit more dangerous. Piero Hincapié, I'm also going to give a 7. William Saliba, he was quite strong defensively. Maybe he could have got the ball moving a bit quicker. But I think that was kind of something everyone was doing in the back line. But overall, not bad. 7. Gabriel, also not bad. 7. Timber, he was decent in the defence. But when it came down to the attack, he was so poor. Like, he couldn't do anything in those kind of positions. And that bothers me so much. Because I know he's better than that. Timber, I'll give a 6.5 just because of his defensive abilities in the game. And from here on out, I don't think there's a single player that gets anything above a 6. Starting off with Zubimendi, 6. I just thought Zubimendi didn't look fully in control in that midfield. He could have been moving the ball a lot faster. And I'm going to say the same with Declan Rice, a 6. Didn't have full control, could have moved the ball a lot faster. And in our attacking half of the midfield, Eze didn't really do anything crazy special to me. He lost the ball really cheaply in some areas, and overall, there wasn't much to really talk about. 6. Martinelli. I think Martinelli looked like he could get in those dangerous areas, but he just wasn't taking it on as much as he should have. If Martinelli played a bit more directly, perhaps he could have got a better rating. But overall, he just did the same kind of thing Saka did. A 6. Bukayo Saka, I've already told you what I thought about that. But I might be a bit harsher on him, actually, because he's meant to be the captain. And the moment he came off, we started to look better. And look, he is meant to be our star boy, and I don't want to be too cruel on him. But still, 6. And Victor Gyökeres, I thought Victor Gyökeres didn't really get any service again, if I'm honest, but his hold-up play was very hit and miss in the game. I wasn't impressed by it whatsoever, if I'm honest. If he was consistent in his hold-up, I think maybe he could have got a decent rating. But because of that hold-up, I'll give him another 6. And that is my match review for Bayer Leverkusen 1, Arsenal 1. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment, and please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I will see you for the match preview of, if I can grab it, of Arsenal versus Everton. Goodbye for now.